it's important to understand that when we're trying to make decisions and launch action from that stress response, it's not a very good place to, to launch action and make decisions, right? We get 13 points stupider, according to the research. Our IQ diminishes when we're in that fight or flight mode. And so what I see most often is we default to the low-hanging fruit theory, right? So we just immediately just do what's ever in front of us. So for a lot of us, it's read emails and then respond, but we don't really have time to respond correctly. So we end up reading the same dang emails over and over and over again, and then it gets all confusing. Or we do what we know are those low-hanging fruit, but sometimes that means that the more important stuff, again, the bigger stuff, if you're in academic medicine, it might be writing papers. If you have some goal of trying to do something meaningful within your community, that stuff just gets put aside. The bigger stuff gets put aside and the low-hanging fruit gets attracted, it gets taken care of. And the story I often tell about that is, imagine we're the world's best apple growers. If all of a sudden we go to the apple orchard and the expensive fruit on the tree that we're going to get a lot of money for as apple farmer to sell up in the tree, but we spend all our time picking up rotten fruit on the ground, which we get 10 cents on the dollar for, over and over and over again, because we don't really take the time to get up in the tree and get the stuff that really matters. That's what's happening when we're in that low hanging fruit mode. So what we actually do, back to your original question, is we take a few minutes every week, and I'm talking 5 to 10 minutes, because the first thing a lot of my physician clients will say is, I don't have time to add one more thing to my agenda. And I get it. So it's a very short amount of time, a very simple step that has a big impact. It's a big lever for making big difference. And it's sitting down and doing a very quick set of steps, which we can talk about briefly, to map out your week, so that when you have those spaces of time, when you are in those clinical days, instead of assuming that you can default to taking meaningful action, you have a guidebook for yourself to get to the things that really matter.